It's been a marvelous couple of years for the podcasting universe, and I think it's going to get better in 2024. So in this video, I want to share with you 7 reasons why you need to start your podcast in 2024. If you're thinking of podcasting, then you're in good company. You're going to be joining the likes of Shondaland, Oprah Winfrey, Michelle and Barack Obama, Stone Cold Steve Austin, T.I., and lots more. And there's a reason that they're podcasting. It's because they all have a story to tell. And you also have a story to tell, an authentic story. No one has lived life quite like you. I remember one of my seniors in broadcast radio telling me that I shouldn't allow others to write or define my story because they will say the wrong thing and it will obviously be flawed. It's my story, and the best person to tell that story is me. And that's what I like about podcasting, because no one tells you what to say, how to say it, when to say it, or why you should say it. The world is your stage and the mic is yours. Through your story, we catch a glimpse of life through your lens, and we can learn a couple of things, or probably a lot of things, Hidden within your story could be answers to some of the challenges that we are facing in life. So for example, if your story concerns singlehood and how to cope with the challenges of singlehood, imagine the encouragement that you'd offer thousands of people around the world who don't know what to do. And that leads us to the next point. Your authentic story points to your authentic audience. You should start your podcast because there are millions of people who will be encouraged, motivated, and transformed by your life story. And all they need is a voice to articulate some of their pain points or clarify some of the things that they're going through, and you are that voice they need. Which means that in the process, your authentic story leads to your authentic audience. You're going to have people who are messaging you out of nowhere, thanking you for sharing your story, simply because they were going through the same thing that you were going through and they didn't know what to do. Now, this has happened to me in the past. And this is an audience that is emotionally invested in you from that point on forever. They can sense the truth and the vulnerability in what you're sharing. Now, you may choose to do an interview podcast or a podcast about something else, like maybe comedy or philosophy, history, but it doesn't really matter. The fact that you're sharing what you have to say in your unique way is going to be very valuable for others. Now, I hear a lot of people saying that there are too many podcasts and the space is saturated. No, it's not. Not until you start your podcast. And like I mentioned, there's no one like you. There's no story like yours. There are dozens of stand-up comedians, but there's only one Trevor Noah. Your authentic story eventually leads to impact. It's the people who control the narrative that control the world. And we see it every day with politicians. Their main tool of influence and impact is the microphone. Now, with that tool, they win elections. They convince you to vote for them. They tell you what to do. They motivate you to do things. The entire advertising industry is built on narratives. Buy this, buy that, do this. It's nothing more than the art of storytelling. And it's impactful because people want to be told what to do and how to do it. If you think about it, half of the stuff that you buy, you don't really need, but you buy it because somebody told you to. Now, you can put that insight to good use today. Say you started a podcast that taught a skill to someone. They can positively impact their circles now because of what you have said and what you've shared in your podcast. Speaking of which, if you've already started a podcast, I'd love to listen to it, so please share it in the comments below. The best thing about podcasting is its ability to transcend borders. You're no longer restricted to your hometown. Someone across the globe is going to be impacted by your podcast, that they're going to call you up and offer you an opportunity to polish your skills or give you a new job, a new opportunity of some sort. Thanks to his stand-up comedy, Trevor Noah bagged the pivotal role as a host of The Daily Show, which is now one of the most popular commentary shows in the world. My friend Adele Onyango has been around the globe. She's spoken to dignitaries around the world. She's the host of the Moth Talks, all as a result of her podcast, Legally Clueless. You can listen to it here. Now, all this started when she left her job in broadcast radio and decided to start a podcast about a vulnerable position in life that you and I can connect with, about not knowing what to do with life. Now, this message resonates with thousands of young people who are also searching for meaning in life. And now she's built up an audience in the millions, as well as securing speaking engagements around the world where she advocates for women and children's rights. Now, who would have thought all this would have emerged from a podcast? And obviously, podcasting is all about storytelling, and storytelling transforms the world. There's a reason why the most popular influential people in history share their insights and their thoughts through storytelling. It's because it just works. Our Lord Jesus Christ, Barack Obama, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Shonda Rhimes, J.K. Rowling, the list goes on. Now, all these people have influenced generations with their unique storytelling ability, and that's because everyone remembers a good story. Now, in your case, what makes it a good story is that it's your story, and all you need is a microphone and a place on the internet to store your podcast. Imagine if you could preserve your teachings and ensure they reach tomorrow's generation, even when you're long gone, but at the precise moment they need to listen to that message. And that's the power a podcast gives you. It's such a wonderful way to preserve and share your legacy with the world. And you may never know how many millions of people have benefited from your insights. And you don't need to go too far to realize the power of this. Almost every religious leader of significance has used the vehicle of a story to impact people they've never even met. Now, they may have not have fashioned it as a podcast, but again, a podcast is nothing more than a really good story. Or maybe you're not even seeking fame and fortune. Maybe you just want to do this as a hobby. Maybe you just want to conquer your fear of public speaking. That's fantastic. That's another reason to start your podcast. In this day of video, this may sound odd, but there are millions of people who don't necessarily want to be seen on camera, but you know that you have a powerful message. And if you're a flag like me, this is true. Your value comes out of being heard, not seen. And finally, this is a bonus point. The 8th reason why you need to start a podcast is, you just don't have anything to lose. So why not start it in the first place? Now, in case you've already started a podcast, I'd love to listen to it. So please let me know about it in the comments below. And in case these insights have motivated or inspired you to get that podcast started in 2024, I'd love to hear about it. So let me know in the comments below as well. And I'll see you again in the next video.